you ever wondered how the motorcycle lifestyle got to where it is today? The motorcycle as we know it didn't simply roar into creation, fully formed around the time of Easy Rider. No. The invention that we all know and love has a surprisingly long history, full of false starts, innovative ideas and people who needed life to be little more faster. On April 3, 1818, Luxembourg Gardens, Paris, a German builder demonstrated the first steam-powered tray-eyes, a pedal-less bicycle. Some historians consider this lithograph a joke. Around the same time, two French inventors, named Michaux and Hertz, also developed a similar steam-powered velocipede prototype. Later in 1867, an American inventor, Sylvester Roper, after years of experimentation, he decided to attach a steam engine to a bicycle. It took him long experimentation to develop a version that could reach up to 40 miles per hour. In 1879, Murny Gotti filed patent applications for 5 inventions. One of these was the design of a motorcycle running on gaseous combustion engine, suggesting the use of hydrogen, and a tricycle with the same engine ability to carry 2 passengers. Murny Gotti never built a prototype, but a model can be found in the Museum of Science and Technology in Milan. An English inventor, Edward Butler, produced an early, 3-wheeled, petrol automobile, called the Butler Petrol Cycle, which is accepted by many as the first British car. Butler showed plans for his 3-wheeled petrol vehicle at the Stanley Cycle Show in London in 1884, 2 years earlier than Carl Benz, who is generally recognized as the inventor of the modern automobile. Butler's vehicle was also the first design to be shown at the 1885 Inventions Exhibition, also in London. And, finally, in 1885, Gottlieb Daimler patents what is generally considered to be the first true motorcycle. In 1885, the first bicycle-styled vehicle with a gasoline engine appeared on the scene, courtesy of 3 Germans, Gottlieb Daimler, Wilhelm Maybach, and Nelors Otto. Nelors Otto invented the 4-stroke internal combustion engine in 1876. Then, Daimler and Maybach set to work incorporating the new technology into a motorized cycle called the Petroleum Reitwagen that would debut in 1885. The definition of motorcycle includes having an internal combustion engine, but the use of 4 wheels instead of 2 raises doubts. If the outriggers are accepted as auxiliary stabilizers, they point to a deeper issue in bicycle and motorcycle dynamics, in that Daimler's testbed needed the training wheels because it did not employ the then well understood principles of brake and strain. For this, and other reasons, motoring author David Burgess Wise called the Daimler Maybach, a crude makeshift, saying that, as a bicycle, it was 20 years out of date. In the decade from the late 1880s, dozens of designs and machines emerged, particularly in Germany and in England, and soon spread to America. In 1894, Hildebrand and Wolf Muller became the first series production motorcycle, and the first to be called a motorcycle. The first instance of the term motorcycle also appears in English the same year, in materials promoting machines developed by E.J. Pennington. In 1896, Excelsior Motor Company, originally a bicycle manufacturing company, based in Coventry, in Warwickshire, England, began production of their first motorcycle model, available for purchase by the public. In 1898, the first production motorcycle, in the USA, was the Orientaster, built by Charles Metz, at his factory in Waltham, Massachusetts. In 1898, Peugeot motorcycles presence at the Paris Motor Show. The first motorcycle equipped with a Dion-Bouton motor. Peugeot Motorcycles remains the oldest motorcycle manufacturer in the world. At the turn of the 20th century, the first major mass production firms emerged. In 1912, Carl Stearns Clancy undertook the longest, most difficult and most perilous journey ever attempted on a motorcycle. By June 1913, he had made history, becoming the first person ever to travel round the world on a motorcycle. Clancy's 1912 Henderson, a 934cc inline-4 with one gear, no front brake, which made 7 bhp and was advertised at the time as the fastest motorcycle in the world. Most of the route was off-road. But with a flat cap, shirt and tie, nothing is impossible. After the first motorcycle was sold in 1894, a few years later the first race of about 400 kilometers was held in France. The birth of the motorcycle evolved gradually. The Model H in particular is regarded by many as having been the first modern motorcycle, introduced in 1915. It had a 550cc side valve, 4-stroke engine with a 3-speed gearbox and belt transmission. From 1906, Britain held the Tourist Trophy TT races on the Isle of Man. And the motorsport scene blossomed throughout Central Europe in pre-war days. Motorcycles became an increasingly popular and reliable mode of transportation during the World Wars because of their efficiency and ability to navigate through rough terrain and narrow roadways. Decades later, in the 1970s, specialized closed-circuit road tracks, similar in concept to the courses built for Formula One automobiles, were constructed in various parts of the world to accommodate the extremely high-powered performance racing motorcycles. This form of racing, organized as MotoGP, involves motorcycles that are built for racing only. From the earliest steam-powered bicycles to the choppers and sport bikes, we all know today, the motorcycle has done a great deal of evolution over the years. Motorcycle culture has also seen a great deal of change. From the veterans groups that formed the first motorcycle clubs to the outlaw biker stereotypes of the 60s and 70s, and the incredibly diverse landscape of motorcycling today.